Hey guys, welcome back to another one of our 25 Days at Disney. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Brian.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Be a man, we must be swift as a coursing river, man, with all the force of a great typhoon. Be a man, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Please welcome.
And we are going to talk about IPs in the Disney parks. IPs are an intellectual property that has to do with copyrighted movies, characters that were put in the parks. And that is the big, huge thing now in the parks where they don't create original rides anymore. Original rides means like Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World. Those are original, and even ones in the other parks. Now it's basically they're going to stick things like rides or shows or attractions in the parks that have to deal with a movie or a character. This has been going on for a very long time though, where stuff in the Disney parks wasn't even owned by Disney. There had to be some contract somewhere that allowed them to have it in the parks. A lot of this was going on in the Disney park in Orlando, Florida. Now it's called Disney's Hollywood Studios. Before it was called Disney's MGM Studios.
First came the Magic Kingdom, then the incredible Epcot Center. Now comes the new Disney MGM Studios theme park. The Disney MGM Studios theme park at Walt Disney World in Florida.
That they had a contract that's what it was called for a long time. So, Brian, do you want to do the roll call of, or I don't know how you want to go about this.
So really quickly before we start this up,
yeah.
Most of these are gonna, because there's Star Tours in here, which is Star Wars, Muppet, Pandora. I believe Indiana Jones is now owned by Disney as well. Now at least, because he owns, because it's all Lucasfilms. These are before. We were talking about the stuff that was in the parks before they were purchased.
Yeah.
I believe the only one in here right now that's not purchased by Disney is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror and Pandora. I'm pretty sure that's not Disney. I could be completely wrong there.
But sorry. Not to get confused with Pandora, the music app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pandora, they actually put it on Disney Plus. They made a big, huge deal about that.
So
yeah, Pandora's Avatar's on there.
So the first one I want to talk about is Captain EO, which was a whole Disney thing that was produced by Michael Jackson.
The wizardry of Lucas. The mastery of Coppola. The phenomenal music and dance of Michael Jackson. Captain EO. In spectacular 3D. Now at Disneyland at Walt Disney World and nowhere else in the universe.
And it was a whole, I believe it was about a 30-minute performance of, or it was a movie by Michael Jackson, where you could go in and for anybody that's ever been to SeaWorld, this is a good way to do this. I believe it was 3D, because they did a 3D pirate movie in SeaWorld, at least in Sandusky SeaWorld, where at the end they would shoot water at you, if you remember that. They would shoot water at you. It's basically the same thing for Captain EO in Disney, but it was all Michael Jackson. He would have his own original songs.
Okay.
And it would be it's Galaxy. It's almost like Star Wars, but more musical.
Is this the one? Was there a rainbow tunnel he's going through?
No, that was before.
Or is that okay? Because there was a photo shoot or something. They made a big deal about that. Michael Jackson was in Epcot, and that rainbow tunnel no longer exists.
That might have been while they were shooting.
Okay.
But it wasn't while it was in production. And then they came back after Michael Jackson died. They did like a week's return of Captain EO, and then they went back to whatever they were doing before. But going into the more well-known stuff, there's the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
The aura of something terrible stands sentinel in the night sky. What happened to this once luxurious retreat? The answer lies firmly within the Twilight Zone. The question remains, are you brave enough to find out the secret hidden within this hotel? The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Will not go on that.
They opened in.
It's a drop tower.
Like
And
a power
it's-
tower?
Yeah, so like you go through like a hotel lobby, and that's like the queue of the line, and then you get on this car that's on wheels, and you're inside the elevator kind of, but you will roll through certain things, and then they'll play like Twilight Zone clips. They put you in an elevator shaft, and it is computerly programmed where you will not get the same type of drops each time you go on it. So it might go up, down, and there's a part where then you could see the whole park. I will not go on it.
So it opened on July 22nd, 1994, which is over 25 years ago. It's on Sunset Boulevard in Disney Hollywood Studios. There used to be one in Disney's California Adventure, but they closed that, and now it is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is part of the Avengers campus.
There is a place like no other, where a walk down Main Street can fill you with wonder.
Hey! The name's Rocket, and I need your help. The Collector has trapped my friends, the Guardians of the Galaxy, in his weird freak show. Check it out. This is the joint we're in, and we need you to help us break out. Got it? Good. Now move it! I gotta go.
Here, there is magic for days.
There's one in Japan, and there is there's one in Walt Disney Studios Parks. I don't know where this one is though.
I don't know if that's Paris, or I don't remember which one that is.
The general statistics for the one that we are in, that's in America right now, cost $140 million to build. It's on Sunset Boulevard, and I believe it's probably their only big time thrill ride that they still have at Disney.
They still have, that's one of the big top ones. There's Aerosmith indoor coaster. It's a launch coaster.
That's another one, it's Aerosmith.
It's Rock and Roller Coaster. There's other that's on one of the top of the list for thrill rides at Disney. There's several other ones, but I won't get into that right now.
I'd say it's probably one of the more popular ones because it's been around for a long time.
It always has a long line that you get the fast pass for.
The next one that we'll talk about is Star Tours.
Bumpy flight, and who knows where we'll land? The freezing cold of Hoth, the sandstorms of Tatooine.
Or get blasted to bits by the Empire.
What? Are you scared?
No. Really? Because you look scared.
With more than 50 different adventures, you never know where you'll go. Star Tours, new in 3D. Flights departing daily from Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Ooh, somebody's got eyes for you.
Which was Disney's first foray into Star Wars before they bought Lucasfilms back in 2014, I believe it was.
The one in California, I believe that Star Tours opened first.
Disneyland opened on January 9th, 1987. The one in Tokyo Disneyland opened in July 12th, 1989. The Disney Hollywood Studios, December 15th, 1989. In Paris, they had one April 12th, 1992. And I believe this whole thing is that it goes through Endor. It goes through the New Republic. It shows a bunch of droids being built for any of you Star Wars fans.
It's a simulator ride.
It's a simulator ride
You
where
put 3D
it's
glasses
bouncing and stuff like that. It'd be one of the only things that I really want to experience at Disney.
I didn't go on it my 2019 trip, but in 2017 I went on it. And you have 3D glasses on, you get in the ship, and you will like fly, like you're on like the different ships. And then C-3PO is like almost the captain of the ship. They have an animatronic that comes out. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
We have the Muppets.
That one, I like that one. That one's
which
fun.
is the Muppets are very underrated to me. I believe they're very underrated compared to what other Disney IPs they have. But this one opened up, the Muppet 3D. The first one opened in May 16th, 1991. It's still in operation today. It's not operational in Disney California Adventure anymore. and basically it's a show for the Muppets. They put on a show. Kermit the Frog is in it. The whole gang. Waldo. There's mayhem in it. I haven't personally been to it. You've been to it though, have you? Can you explain what they do?
You walk into a theater and you sit in regular like theater seats, and the whole film happens on the screen with 3D glasses. However, they do have a couple of the characters in animatronic form. The two old guys are in the theater seats, making like making all their comments in the background.
The hecklers.
Yeah, it's a nice way also to go in the air conditioning to get away from the heat.
Yeah. So that'd be one of the few things that'd be another one of the few things that I want to see at Disney World.
That's at the same park too, so you're lucky.
Up next is the newest so far for it, Pandora.
Yes.
It's the world of Avatar.
Come, explore a place where you can fly on the back of a banshee. Walk under floating mountains and navigate a mystical river. Welcome to our world beyond belief. Pandora, the world of Avatar. Only at the Walt Disney World Resort.
It is a total of 12 acres, and it started operation on May 27th in 2017.
I went opening weekend. It wasn't even planned, guys. I got to see opening weekend. Crowds, the long lines. I got a special invitation to go there at like till 1 o'clock in the morning. It was awesome. Pandora's at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The area that it was something to do with Camp Mickey. However, the section that they did put this in, if you look at the Animal Kingdom border, you will see that there are dragons in the in the logo, and there's nothing to do with dragons in there. When they were going to open up the park, they were going to have like going to be called like Beastly Kingdom or something with that. They were going to have it in that section. So technically, Avatar occupies the section where they would have had.
It was supposed to be a fantasy land.
Yeah, it was going to be something with like dragons or something. But it's funny because they still kept in the logo of Animal Kingdom, and if you go around, there's still maybe some dragon symbols, some areas that they said that you can still kind of see it in there.
Now this is located in Orlando. There's a bunch of bioluminescent plants.
Yes, it's black lights on steroids, guys, at night.
Alien wildlife, which I'm assuming are animatronics, most likely.
Yeah.
And then there's two major attractions. There's the Avatar Flight of Passage, where you're flying on the
Banshee.
They're banshees, but they're dragons. And then there's the Navi River Journey. So those are the two major attractions. Have you ever?
I've never been to Disney.
You saw Avatar, right?
Nope.
No.
I haven't seen Avatar.
Not missing much.
No,
I
it's not a good movie. I didn't like Avatar.
So if you guys go to the playlist where it's the June 2019 Disney trip, I have a video of me going on the Navi River Journey. You can see the full ride. I did not go on Flight of Passage. Some people say they will get motion sickness on it. Basically, you go almost like on a motorcycle bike, like this, and you have 3D glasses on, and you get clamped in this, and you lean forward. And they have you on tiers when you're riding on it, and actually, sometimes you might think you're going down the waterfall, and they make it seem like you're actually on the Banshee. Some people say they will get motion sickness or not. Julia didn't know how she was going to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I did get a fast pass, and we just decided not to go on it. But I've been on the Navi River Journey now 3 times. I also did a video where we walk around at Pandora, so you can actually see the floating mountains. And then I went in the gift shop, and there's a crap ton of stuff in that gift shop.
I'm sure in every gift shop there's probably a crap ton of stuff. The next one is another LucasArts original, Indiana Jones and the Epic Stunt Spectacular. It's based off of the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie.
Fire and explosions. I have a video about that too. You guys can watch parts of the show.
It's still in operation. It started in August 25th in 1989. It's 25 minutes, and it was actually shown in Full House.
Yes.
Back in the 90s, right?
Yeah. I think it's May 11th, 1993 that the Disney episode of it aired. Sorry, I'm doing research for another Disney thing, so that's how I know that date, kind of. Yeah.
There is a little bit of controversies. They still had Nazi swastikas on some of the stuff, and
there might be.
There's still Nazi swastikas on some of the stuff.
Is it the plane?
Those are the villains in the movie. So that's one thing to remember. Like, while that stuff is there, it's because usually villains get represented at some of the Disney stuff too.
Now, back in 2004, they actually got rid of all that because of the controversy. So the Nazi swastikas on the German trucks, aircrafts, and actor uniforms were removed, and they were replaced by a stylized Greek cross. So they still look like a Nazi swastika, but they're not, because of all the backlash that they were getting. Apparently, it was good through the 90s and good through half of the early 2000s, but not anymore. And it's still operating, so obviously this is still an incredibly popular thing to go to.
Oh, that arena! It's basically like an arena. Almost every seat gets packed every show. If you look it up or watch the video that I did, it's packed.
A good equivalent of this for a good equivalent to think about is the Universal Waterworld show, where people have seen it where the plane lands in the water and splashes everybody. That's a good equivalent of that because there are stunts, there's fire.
Yes.
There's a big. Is there still that big boulder that chases Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he falls down with the rope. There's a thing where all of these things shoot up from the ground and he has to run around. These big axe thingies go chop down. I'm bad explaining this. And then the boulder comes. Then they actually move the set off. They do a bunch of whip stuff with a whip that you actually hear the snap of it. There's acrobats doing gymnastics. And then there's a car that's on a track that actually blows up on fire and the whole thing flips forward. There's fireworks going off for other gunshots, and then another tank or something blows up with fire. It's cool.
It used to be Disney's MGM Studios, but now it's been renamed to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Because this is where the Chinese theater is in Hollywood or in Disney. It actually opened back in 1989, which 30 years ago, May 1st, 1989. It was Disney MGM Studios from 1989 to 2008. So actually, it was renamed back in 2009. Apparently, there is some live entertainment.
It's awesome. There's a Beauty and the Beast live stage show. I have that clip on a video. There's a Little Mermaid show. I don't have content from that. There's a lot of stuff there.
So at other times, because again, this has been open for 30 years, so they have a lot of stuff that they have to go through. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was part of it. Ace Ventura.
No way.
Pet Detective. Goosebumps. And the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
What?
So they've had a lot of stuff in there. They also had the Disney Stars and Motor Cars Parade.
I remember that when I was little. That was fun.
Pixar Block Party Bash, and the High School Musical 3 senior year. They've had a lot of stuff in there. It's actually pretty cool because I didn't realize that they had a lot of this stuff.
Their animation studio used to be there. When I went there in 2002, you could see them doing the drawings and stuff for Brother Bear.
Wow.
Now it no longer exists.
So yeah, the Disney's. It's where all the cool stuff happens. It's the productions. It's
behind the scenes. That's what it used to be, and now I think they might transition to you being in the movies. Because before there was even the Great Movie Ride that they had that it's no longer there. It's inside the Chinese theater where they had scenes from Singing in the Rain, The Public Enemy, Alien, Footlight Parade, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Tarzan the Ape Man. Then there's Western scenes with John Wayne, Casablanca, Wizard of Oz. It was amazing. What you went on this tram and you went through it. It's not there anymore. But a lot of that stuff's not Disney properties or anything that was in there.
Right.
It's now closed. It opened on May 1st, 1989, with the opening of Hollywood Studios, and it actually ended on August 13th, 2017.
So I got to go on it in a way a couple months before it
Yeah.
closed.
It's
Now it's
yeah.
going to be they're turning into a Mickey Mouse ride, which is the very first Mickey Mouse ride they'll have. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
That's insane.
I can see that.
That's the first time that there's an actually Mickey Mouse ride.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be basically you going into a cartoon, and they're calling it 4D somehow, or they're calling it something else.
Those are some of the few Disney properties that weren't even Disney properties. They were all IPs that were bought to use, which we talked about in an episode way back about other IPs. In Orlando, you'll never see Marvel. You might see them in the gift shop, but you'll never see a Marvel ride or anything else, because in Universal Studios in Universal Studios Orlando, they still have Dawn of Adventures, where they still have Marvel Studios or Marvel people, and it's crazy to know that you can only go see Marvel in California.
They're fine with Guardians of the Galaxy because there's nothing to do with that at Universal Studios. So they had at Epcot. I filmed it too. There's a Guardians of the Galaxy stage show musical thingy, majiggy.
But we're basically finished talking about this. But stay tuned for more 25 Days of Disney, and we'll see you next time.
See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
God damn it, Brian.
If you enjoyed me, give this video a thumbs up.
See the light.